I like to give context to the books I get sometimes so that people will get me very well. So I got this book while I was on my externship as a law school student. So I will, you have to apportion your time carefully. So the first month of our law school, I read about 90 books. Then the second year, because we didn't start in the beginning of the year, so the second year, January we were in school, February we were our exams. So that year I read 150 plus books. But why am I mentioning this? I'm mentioning this because I needed you guys to know that for me to have read a book during that particular time, it meant the book had to be good. Now, this book was giving me reminiscence of Chinua Achebe because of how explanatory of the society that it was, the setting that it was in. So when I think about Nosike, I think about Nosike in a particular setting, right? So I can remember certain things, how Christmas was like for them, and how it was just a very nostalgic read, very, very nostalgic read. And one very remarkable thing I talked about in this book, when I was not just in my review, was it my review? I don't think it was my review, but I talked about it in one of my substacks, where there's an incident that happens to Nosike. Nosike is the main character in this book, where something happened to him, and then the writer makes a statement that pain is not a palpable thing. And what that means is pain is something you cannot lift from someone. So when the person is in pain, the only thing you can do is try to comfort them. You cannot carry the pain that they are feeling on their behalf. And it's one statement that has held through for me for many, I feel like I'm saying for many years, like as if it's been done since I read this. But yeah, for a while since I read this book, it's one statement that has held through. Earlier on I said that one of the reasons why this is remarkable is the setting. You are put in the location where this story is happening, so much so that I can imagine the Catholic Church, I can imagine their house, I can imagine the architecture of their house because of how well it was explained. And the thing is, there's a trick to explaining setting. You have to explain setting well enough that people can understand, and you also have to explain it well enough so that people don't get put off by your description. Because to a very large extent, when you describe something, over describe something, people tend to lose interest in that part of the story. Like, why am I even reading this? Or they skip lines. But no. The complexity of emotions in this book was beautiful. I love that he explored so many emotions, and that's why you see that Loss is an aftertaste of memories. That's why he will get the title, because something happened. There's a feeling of loss in this book, and then you remember, oh, these are the things that happened when this person was here, but this person was no longer here. So the reason I'm saying this is because I'm trying to avoid giving spoilers. As always, I try not to give spoilers. It's a very difficult thing to review a book and not give spoilers. And one of my favorite characters in this book is Nosike, because he carries the duties of a firstborn so well. So I know that, yes, there were some times when I was like, Nosike, why would you do this kind of thing? Which is why I said it was a very engaging read. So it was like I was talking to someone in my past in a way, like, why are you making this kind of decisions? Well, then we saw why. We were able to understand his childhood mind till he grew up. Now, for a very short book, it was able to achieve the effect of being a Bildung Grossman. I hope I got the pronunciation right. So a Bildung Grossman is a book that follows a person from when they're young to they're adults, pretty much. And we see that we follow Nosike from when he's a primary school pupil till university, and that's pretty much it. His relationship with his family dynamics is beautiful. His sister, his brother, his mother, his father, we see how he relates with each of them based on his capacity and his understanding. Oh, this is who this person is. I think one thing I found really funny was the sister relationship, because brothers are the same everywhere. I was like, oh, so this is what you people like. This is a universal phenomenon. This is how you people are. So it was a very beautiful thing. I highly recommend this read. Like, this is one book you will read and you would enjoy. It's something you would read and you would find it hard to stop thinking about because of how much you can relate to it. Like I said, it was very nostalgic. It was a testament of the kind of past I had, even though it wasn't exactly. Yeah. And that's all for me for today. Bye.